use some simulation, some animations.
Prepsy is actually very attractive. They have all these kind of animations. Compared to PowerPoint, it would be more fun. Help you to organize your thoughts.
The ebook for the Landlord 1 and Landlord 2 taken together is about 80 to 100,000 words, I would say. And it should have all of the ideas. Originally, they were like lecture notes, but I think they're a bit more detailed than lecture notes now. And so the idea is that they should be a good, clear summary, typically about for each 2-hour lecture, about 3,000 to 4,000 words, fully referenced.
Camtasia to record my lectures, do it in my office and break it down into 10 minutes pieces and put them all on the course webpage so that the students can click on the different pieces to learn about whichever topics that he or she felt that she could not follow.
Last term, so that there's more of so I've done a lot of those podcasts of one type or another. Last term I did something different, which I'm hoping to evaluate myself now, which was to introduce a theme as part of one of the topics that we had anyway as part of the course. But I said we're going to take that theme and we're going to concentrate on it for the whole term as well. So apart from we'll see that theme as part of the whole course, but I'm introducing it now at the beginning of the course. And you're going to do a coursework on it, you're going to do discussion forum posting on it. And I'm going to post materials about it from the very beginning of the course. So that theme is present from week 1, or from week 0 really, to week 13. And it's a kind of a collective focus that will allow you to do some research and allow us perhaps to collaborate in knowledge construction. And the podcasts that I did for that, I did 6 podcasts, which were really at the core of it. And those podcasts, of course, were much more to introduce the theme as a whole, and then much more to introduce ways of thinking about the theme, or tie the theme into other topics. So it wasn't to kind of summarise core ideas, so much as to help them to think about how to think about the topic in a more advanced way.
Nowadays is to use Flip. Flip is not a new pedagogy. It's actually a re-emphasis of class preparation. So instead of teaching everything, you ask students to prepare for class, to read the easy material at home. And then you leave all the time in class for the teaching and discussion of the more difficult material. It's very fruitful.
Use of the UReply, the module during the class, because I'm actually teaching the satellite courses. So this satellite actually capture lots of these amazing images. So if you like to share this with your student in your class, rather than just letting them to look at the images, I will firstly design some of these questions before the class, like in the form of multiple choice or some very short answer questions, so that the student can just use their cell phones or using their laptop to enter or to choose the correct answers.
Most important thing is for the instructor to feel comfortable and easy to use.
Recognize limitations and try and find ways around them.
Most facilitative. They're all useful. And I think what you've got to do is to think, is you can't isolate the technology from the pedagogy. So you've got to say to yourself, what would I like the students to be able to do? And then to think about, well, what, combining for all of us, face-to-face lectures with this array of technologies, to try to think and to explore how you think you can make use, what the affordances of the technology are. How do you think that each of these technologies can be put to best use to allow the students to engage with the subject and ideally, of course, in a certain sense, to create knowledge. And so to say, now the experience shows that podcasts and ebooks help students to engage. That's quite, in the sense that it helps them to make sure they've got the core ideas, let's say. That they can come to a lecture already in the mood to listen to you. A concern that you can forget about. Will people come to your class? They will come to the class. If the class is worth coming to, they will come to it.
I got support from the Micromodule Courseware Development Grant. I got that particular software.